love can make you, I don't know, so you don't think straight. I never could put it into words. He was the best thing that ever happened to me. I remember when he asked me out, how excited I was. He was the absolute love of my life. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, 20 people are physically abused by their significant others every minute. This is the story of a victim finally getting away from her abuser, but feeling guilt by her means of escape. It is part 3 of Steve Yockey's Bright Apple Crush. After months of dating, the best kind of dating, the sweet, hot, can't be without them kind of dating, we decided to move in together. Big decision to live together, but it felt right. It wasn't perfect dating. I don't want to sound, it was good. We did have a few pretty big fights, no big deal. Some of them had even become kind of physical, but it was nothing. So I asked him to move in, and he said yes. The second night after he moved in, I spilled a bottle of wine. It was just careless. He hit me so hard that I blacked out. Just square in the jaw, a sharp pain, and then nothing. When I woke up, he was asleep. I wasn't even sure it even... And then I cleaned up the wine. That started to happen a lot. Not the spilling, the hitting. Bright light shining in through the curtains. My apartment faced these security lights. It never really got dark, and he hadn't noticed until he moved in, so this became another source of tension. Something that was my fault. It got so the bruises were becoming something I had to explain. I felt like a bad after-school special, but then again, it seemed like most of the stuff actually could have been avoided if I had just paid more attention. And that was okay for a while. He was the first person I ever loved. And he was everything. And you take the good with the bad. That's how it works. Eventually, I got to the point where I stopped flinching. Didn't even try to avoid it anymore. And he seemed to understand. I just accepted it while he was hitting me. And then last night, something was different. And I didn't feel anything at all when he hit me. And I didn't fall down. And I was aware on some level that my body was moving, but it was like watching a movie. But right up against the screen. So the images don't make any sense. It's all a blur still. I looked down, and somehow he was on the floor, and there was blood, and I kept bringing my boot down on his neck and face. I remember thinking that it shouldn't be happening, but not having any control over it. There was a point where I didn't even recognize him anymore. Eventually, I could hear my breathing and my heart slamming in my chest, the tears on my face, wet and sticky. But I still didn't stop. It was a rush. It was exciting and horrifying all at once. I finally stopped. I was covered in blood. You never think of yourself as a... When it was over, I didn't know what to do. So I took off my boots. I just took them off, and he was laying there, kind of moving some. So I went into the laundry room, and I put my clothes in the washing machine and went back into the living room. He was still moving. I picked up my boots, and I went to the bathroom, and I sat in the tub, scrubbing the boots. After just a few minutes, the water was red and soapy. But the boots were clean, wet and clean. I drained the tub, took a shower, and cleaned it with bleach. I dried myself off, went back to the laundry room, put my clothes from the washer to the dryer, threw in the boots, and went back into the living room. He was still moving, breathing through, trying to breathe. I sat on the couch while I waited for my clothes to dry. At one point, he reached toward me, and I started to sob uncontrollably. When my clothes were done, I got dressed again, even in the boots, and I called 911. I feel like I could hear the sirens for hours before anyone actually got there. I stayed on the couch, far away from him. And it took forever, but I could hear the sirens. They told me that there was this huge fire a few blocks down. Those were the sirens, that they were so sorry that it took so long for the ambulance. I told them I came home from drinks with friends, and I found him like that. I rode with him in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. I held his hand and waited while he was in surgery. I don't know what I'll do when he wakes up, when he can tell people what happened, what I did to him. I sit alone now and think about what he'll say when he wakes up, if he'll even remember it at all. I know I barely do. But the doctors, due to the extent of his injury, I don't think he'll wake up. But the thing I remember most crush.